I literally had 3 clients that got licensed the same way. And so what they did was they got licensed and then they moved. One got licensed and remained in that ALF because her house has like another side of the house where she and her husband live, but you can stay in the house while you do the process instead of moving. So you can get the house licensed and then you can either go rent or buy another house. So you have 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So what we would need to do is we can, and my clients have done this, have you get licensed while you live in the house. This will minimize expenses. Of course, you're in the process of moving, but you can literally start the process. What we will need to do is we will need to see if you are zoned for assisted living. People who want to work with the little children, everything they've done is with kids. Like your history shows what you like, right? Like if you would have said, yeah, I work with the little kids, or I work, then I'm like, oh yes, you will do well with the APD group home. But for people who like seniors, you like seniors and you will do well with an assisted living. Because for one, you like what you're doing. You like dealing with seniors. Even when they do stuff that pisses you off, you still like them. Like when I managed an ALF, and this was the worst thing ever, my senior, a little Spanish little, we used to call her Olga Mamicita. One day we came and she stuck her hand in her pants and she smeared poop all over the walls. And you walked in and she's like, Mamicita, and her hands full of, and she doesn't know. She just want to say hi, you know. No, we'll get you equipped. It's a misconception. So we would help you get your license. And then after you get your license, you take 4 additional classes to become memory care focused. And then you have to have policies, which right now inside of my Thriving Circle community, all of those things are in there for free. So if you see on my website, there is a Thriving Circle community. I go in there once a month and I educate. Whatever you want to know, I tell. And there's a whole bunch of other people in the community too. So along with that is I have resources, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm a small facility, I can't be a memory care. It's because you don't have the proper information, right? So it's not an additional license. It's just additional classes you gotta take. Yeah. So it's like Alzheimer's, dementia classes. So I would recommend go sign up for the Thriving Circle. You'll be able to print the policies for the memory care. It's in there for free. You'll be able to see what classes you need to take, what you need to do, just so you can have that knowledge. So you know how it works. But it's not hard. Trust me, it is not hard. And then once you have the memory care, then you charge more. You charge more for the bed. When a resident needs too much help, they need to discharge that resident. And then that resident will go to a smaller setting where you can provide the more one-on-one care, right? And they'll come to you. The family is used to having a memory care facility, but a big one. Now they come down to a smaller one and mom can get more care, right? So that's how that works. In your 3-2, you can have 6. You can have 6 with zoning to make sure that they allow, because there are distance requirements that will say yes, you can have a residential community home. There is usually a application process. You apply for the zoning application and then you submit the documents. Try to do it yourself. If you see that it's an issue, we offer that service where we do the research for you. We do the zoning research. We do the application for you. And then once you find out, they'll tell you, okay, so you're zoned for 6 residents. That's how the letter will come. You're zoned for 6 residents, and now you know you can put 2 people to a room. The only issue is if your rooms are too small. You need 120 square footage at a minimum to put 2 people in there. Yeah, you need 60 square footage per person. So you can literally measure it yourself, and you can also do like a little video. But the measurements will tell you what you need to do. So you would need to find out if you're zoned. That's step number 1. Then there is a zoning application process. You can try to do do it yourself, but if you have any issues, we do offer that service. So we would communicate with the zoning department on your behalf. We would need your ID, and then we would do the application process for you. They usually ask that you do a research, that distance. So they ask, different places ask for different things, but typically they'll ask for a research. We do the research for you, and then we put the packet together and we submit it to the zoning department for you. And then they'll come back and they'll say, yes, you're zoned. This is for how many people. No, you're not zoned. This is why you're not zoned, because there's another one within X amount of feet. That, and then after that is pretty much doing the licensing process. So for example, if you know you're going to open an ALF, regardless if this location is zoned or not, what you can do is you can enroll into our licensing roadmap. You don't have to have a house to actually start it. The way that it looks is, let's say for example, God forbid this one is not zoned, but then you're buying another house. So that other house that you're buying, you need to make sure that it's zoned for ALF, right? And then we can help you do all of those zoning applications. Most people, what they do is they get into the licensing roadmap, and then we help them. Let's say you're buying that house, we work with your realtor to make sure that house is zoned. We make sure that your realtor have the proper addendum to say, for example, if the house is not zoned for ALF, my client can exit the contract. Okay? And then we would do the zoning process for the realtor, because buying a house comes with a lot of time frames. And so the realtor know if we're doing it for you, it's going to go a lot quicker, because we know the rules. We know what this word means, what that one. We know how to handle it. And so that's one way people have worked with us. And if the house is not zoned, we move to the next one. And you continue to work with us. Once you find a location that is zoned, then that's when we start working on your licensing process itself. No, so zoning don't come out to do an inspection. Zoning is going by what the packet that I am providing, or the packet that you're going to put together. And then when they do start doing inspection, I will tell you how to get ready, especially you're living in the house with toys and different things like that. But that typically don't take place until after we start the licensing process, meaning we're going to do a change of use, and then you have the fire department that will come out. You have the sprinkler company, alarm companies, and then you have the city that will come out to do those inspections. And I will tell you exactly what needs to be done, what sign needs to be put, where you need to put it, how you need to put it, send you the sign, things in writing, plus video, plus meetings with me. And then I'll tell you, do a video, let me make sure it's right. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. Show me what it looked like. Let me make sure it's going to pass the inspection. And all of our clients get licensed on first inspection. I should let you know. That's how good we got with this thing. We have clients throughout the state of Florida, all the way down to Tallahassee. We just licensed somebody in Palm Bay, and the month before we licensed someone in Gainesville. So St. Lucie, they're everywhere. So in Florida, we do the same thing over and over, but it's just knowing how to deal with the information, if that makes sense. I'll train you on how to get them, but I don't go and find you the residents, but I will teach you. Like, you will have part of your process is a marketing plan, and I will tell you, because I also manage an ALF, so I will not only tell you what works online, I will tell you what works nobody talks about, because I had to do those things to open my own ALF. And since I have so many others that are doing, so they come up with unique stuff, and I'll tell you about those too. And then since we're also doing conferences, there are, like, my clients in Gainesville, I met with somebody who is on the board of Veterans Affairs up there, and she's like, yeah, I can send him clients. She was on my podcast. So right then and there, I connect my client with her. So, like, because we're doing so much in the community and people want to come to our platform and they know if they help our clients, that makes us very happy. So stuff like that.